A Gorgon, a zombie, a vampire, a werewolf, a chupacabra, a Bigfoot.
Live from the new kingdom, it's the OBDM podcast. Now, here's your hosts, Midnight Mike, Joe, and Gretchen.
It's all happening. This is happening. It's all happening. It's all here.
Hey everyone, it's all happening. Yes, it's all happening. It's all here. Welcome back to another fun-filled podcast adventure. Hooray. My name is Midnight Mike. Joe is over there on screen. Yes.
Go back to work.
God knows what.
Hanging out, having a good time. Gretchen is over there too on a real microphone.
I hate this place.
I just proved I was on a real microphone last week, too.
Oh, my God. Don't make him repeat it. It was so boring.
Yes.
But Windows did not want to participate.
Yeah. Well, we took a Wednesday off. It was just coincidental that we took that day off at the same time that people were mourning John C. Dvorak of No Agenda, who we are broadcasting on the No Agenda stream right now. And a bit sad. That guy has been in my ear for the past, I don't know, since 2009, 2010, since I started listening to No Agenda. And two days a week, every week for that many years. So it is, it's going to be sad to continue to listen to the show without John C. Dvorak. But yeah, my heart goes out to his family, and they gave him a good tribute on the most recent No Agenda show. And
yeah, that entire episode was like a 6-hour eulogy for him.
Yeah. Deservedly so, the guy.
Absolutely.
He had quite a body of work behind him and working right up until the very end. And then to discover that he was actually older than everyone commonly believed. So good for him for keeping that up.
Is it dark that I remember listening to the show even 5-10 years ago and thinking, what is Adam going to do when JCD kicks it?
Oh, wow.
Like,
yeah.
I don't like thinking that dark, but it's like they clearly had an age difference and they were ride or die.
Yeah. Adam has numerous other podcasts, but I would have to think that that's his baby. Like that's his thing. That's his go-to. I would imagine that, I think they even said No Agenda will go on just with another co-host. Is it the same? I don't know. Is Adam going to have chemistry with that new person? It's going to be a different kind of chemistry. It's going to certainly the show is going to feel a little different vibe. Same thing with OBDM. And Joe, you are the longest running co-host, but you're certainly not the first co-host or first person. I've had numerous others. There'll be a different vibe, a different feel to No Agenda with a new person in that chair. So it's the way it is. But also, the benefit is when you inject new blood or new life into a show, they're going to bring different ideas. They're going to bring different news, different clips. And hopefully it'll bring a new life to it. But John C. Dvorak, I love his curmudgeon-y ways. And I also like that he pulled Twitter stuff, like young people clips. I like that he did that.
And the TikTok stuff.
Yeah, I love that. That was awesome. Yeah. It's just
so Sam Tripoli is going to join Adam Curry now because he doesn't do enough podcasts.
Yes, I think Sam Tripoli will have his 200th podcast with Adam Curry. I can see that. Sam filling in. Yeah, just been a rough week for everyone. So I guess I'm going to get some news. Actually, before we get to news, I think we got to play some catch up. And do some Alex Jones clips of the week. I think that's the best way to start things off. Here we go. Everything I do this episode, this is what John C. Dvorak would have wanted me to do. even though he had no idea who I was. He didn't care one iota about me. This is what he would want me to do.
Little Cretched.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got him to say my name like twice.
Yeah.
Cretched.
Yeah.
A.K.A. Flavorton. Midnight Mike.
Oh, wait. He did know he did say my name. There you go. All right. Yeah.
Belated Jingle Bingle.
Yeah. There you go. We are going to do Alex Jones Clips of the Week. Here we go. We're going to go back to the 16th. The 16th. Here we go, people. Buckle in.
Get a space elevator to the moon? I like Al-Qaeda now. Al-Qaeda's good. I like me some Al-Qaeda. I'm going to terrorize you. Somebody go check the mailbox, see if I got my Netanyahu check now. TSA, grab my balls. I need to be safe. We need total war to bring back the 12th Mahdi. Durka, 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 durka. We're moving in the right direction. You people are frickin' crazy town. You traitor, you're back on Trump's train. You're back riding his weenie.
He's all over the place right there. All over the place. We are going to go to the 17th. Here we go.
It's just disgusting. Look at her. Smoking gun. There's some grass around the rabbit hole. This is a big enchilada. Well, I heard this thing tracks where I go. I heard it know what I be doing. You got a 50 IQ, folks.
Quick one. There we go. Got a quick one right there. We're going to move on to Monday. Here we go.
15,000-foot mountains, 18,000-foot mountains, 3,000-foot sheer cliffs, 8,000-foot mountains. Absolutely disgusting. Thanks for the call. Balls to the walls. Don't explosive diarrhea. Don't eat Taco Bell. He bleeds through his rectum when he's on his monthly period. He puts tampons in his butt. What a sick call. I want you to stick your arm up my rear end. It's a little like you're in a bathroom or something, but go ahead. Some nice 15,000-foot mountains. Sir, you have a large penis. 10,000-foot mountains. This is not joke videos. They have auctions of sheep specially prepared for sexual pleasure sold across the Middle East and Central Asia. We are balls to the walls. Who runs Bartertown? Master Blaster runs Bartertown. Yes, you have a uterus attached to your lower intestine. Yes, that's right.
What was all the mountain talk about?
I don't know. Maybe they were talking about like the invasion. I think it's probably describing the terrain of Iran and what a ground invasion would go up against. I'm assuming. Sounded like it. Are we doing that? Are we going to war with Iran? Is that what's going on? Feels like
Israel
that.
really wants it.
No, they don't. They said they're not going to help us anymore. They backed out.
Yeah, after they left us holding the bag on that one.
They started it and then they backed out. It's like this is not our game anymore, guys. We're out of here.
It's stupid.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Tuesday.
Look at my gas chambers. We're going to kill everybody in these. Cobra. Did he glaze you, Mark? I hear you're incredible, Mark. Go to a concert, guy runs up, pulls his pants down, pisses on you and your kids. God, your husband's incredible. You know how great he is? Hail Hydra. Hey, stop peeing in the gas tank. I don't want to be glazed. Literally, it's a robot machine kissing your ass. Men are allowed to urinate on children. No, it runs great on salt water or piss. They glaze each other. This is beyond sick. Trump will give you a oral blowjob. Why does Destro wear a mask? Will you pee in my gas tank some more, please? You got to drain your tank. Don't crank your car. Don't drive around on pee.
I still know. And then we have Wednesday. Here we go.
At about 3 months, about 4 months, about 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. And I'm going to pound them even harder. Atomic and hydrogen boom booms. Help me, Daddy. I love it. These are obnoxious. I was begging him to spank me. Israel is mega, super, ultra pee-peed. I've seen a poll. Oh, look at that big avalanche.
This is the world we're in. This is what we deal with. Oh, there's some Alex Jones clips of the week. We usually do that on Wednesday, people, but since we didn't do a show on Wednesday, we're trying to do the right thing, the proper podcast etiquette, and make good. We know people like that segment, and so we we fulfilled our obligation there, and now we can go, or we can stick around and do some news. And since we have about another hour and 45 minutes to kill, we should stick around.
Do you want to run that bonus clip that's not an Alex Jones clip, but it's a good one?
Let's do it, yeah.
And I hope you're going to do magnets. Somebody out there, I hope you're all brilliant people. Magnets. Do magnets, okay? I'll tell you how to make money. Do magnets. You're doing a lot of great stuff. Do magnets. Because one thing we don't have, but we're getting close, but do magnets.
He wants people to do magnets, like start a business with magnets?
That's credit to Pouncer on Discord for finding that one.
What?
He was clearly talking about spinning up American industry or something, but
magnets.
when he gets stuck in these little loops, it's hilarious.
Magnets.
Do magnets.
Just, what do you mean?
You want to make some money, Mike? I'll tell you how to make some money. Do magnets.
He must have someone must have told him something about like the next energy cycle and what is going to take place. And so he's telling people like a little insider information, do magnets, okay? And I
suspect it comes from they're looking at the rare earths and the ability to produce some of these necessary components for manufacturing, especially electronics and technology and whatnot. And all of our, I'm sure to your point, somebody told him that, hey, we import like 96% of the material used to process industrial magnets. And so now he's got that in his head.
Oh. Yeah. We do magnets right now.
That's the noise he makes whenever he thinks about magnets now.
We need more magnets around here.
Yeah.
Wow, I'll do another little roundup on Alex Jones to kind of transition out of Alex Jones Clips of the Week into Alex Jones segment. He put out this little segment on shapeshifters and specifically about Chuck Schumer. You know Chucky Schumer, New York State Senator. He's been in the Senate as long as I can remember. Probably
he's really good behind the grill.
Dynamite.
That's right.
Dynamite. He's a grill master.
Frozen like grocery store hamburger patties. Oh God.
He does not waste a second getting the cheese on that burger.
He loves it. So he is the subject of this Alex Jones. I don't know what to say rant, but definitely a segment. I'll bring this up on screen so we all can enjoy.
He's been a senator since 1999.
99. Okay. So he knows a lot of stuff. He is institutional power. He is very powerful. Here we go. We're going to talk about Chuck Schumer right now.
It was wrong that they're reptiles, but reptiles like their meat raw. And if you looked at Schumer's wife, by the way, Beto did that where he was serving raw hamburgers. What? Where do you come from? What? Are they growing these people in tanks or something? Imagine you went over some person at work. Hey, come over for burgers. Come over. Here's a raw burger. You'd be like, you would think they're trying to get you sick or something. Like, hey man, what is this? Are you retarded? No, man, they ain't human. Take a look. I actually think Chuck Schumer is a shape-shifting demon. I think he probably 5,000 years old, probably lives underground, a flying saucer that got buried in New York. I'm serious. I mean, I mean, look at that alien right there. That's probably like it's the ambassador from Mars or something. And they're just like, screw these humans. These people have no idea how we're effing them over. We love radiation. Yeah, so once we nuke everything, we'll be able to grow. I can't spawn and grow eggs on my back until the radiation level isotope is above the level it is now. Hydrogen bombs are what I love. Oh, yeah, they drink radiation coolant. Guaranteed. I'm not even joking.
Guarantee. Take that to the bank.
In fact, I bet Schumer's the female and that's the male. That creature right there is definitely a Draco lizard and mounts him. He has the eggs, and the eggs come out of the mouth. The little baby scorpions, and they sit on his back, and he...
Oh, my God.
And you know what they feed on, too. They're not just radioactive cooling tank material. That's probably true, actually. Oh, God, help me. Oh, look.
Okay, I just wanted to do a little longer one right there. That gets into David Icke territory, talking about reptilians.
I was going to say that. I was like, he's making David Icke sound sane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Dracos, that is That's the rumor that's the name of the reptilian race that secretly controls the human population or has influenced it. Dracos from the Orion constellation, the big lizard people, shape-shifting lizard people. So that, I mean, I think Ike has said that, and that's like some deep UFO lore. So, but he's just riffing there, having a good time. And
I like the concept that Chuck Schumer lives in a UFO that's been buried underground.
Yes, I like that too. Chuck Schumer lives underground under a UFO, I think he said. He doesn't live in it. That's a fun one. And while we're kind of, I guess we're kind of talking politics here. That was kind of political. I'll break open this clip. This is President Trump saying, you gotta get on board with data centers. What is with you people wanting to preserve your ecology and environmental well-being and not wanting to live near data centers? So this is President Trump having some fun here with data centers.
Tremendous amount of money. In other words, the governors in the room, you have great governors in this room, and these companies are spending tremendous amounts of money on the communities, the local communities. So I think it's important that we tell the local communities that, because other nations are trying to get us to slow down, and they're spending a lot of money on propaganda, on press, PR, trying to convince everybody that this isn't a positive thing. And if we don't do this, we're going to be left behind. And even communities compared to other communities. You have some communities that really want this. This isn't all negative stuff.
Name me one.
You have communities that really want the data centers.
Name me a world leader.
And frankly, those are the smart communities, because it means tremendous numbers of jobs.
Name me one.
Very little actual disruption. And the ones that don't want it, the happiest people in the world are foreign countries, number one, and number two, other communities within our country, because they're begging for them to be there.
Not.
Some of them are great communities, very forward-looking communities, very smart communities.
Very smart community.
I do not see any community begging for data centers. There might be some people that are maybe quietly hopeful if they build one, that'll bring in some new some job growth, spur the economy a little bit. But at least around here in Ohio, I am not seeing anybody locally, any signs saying, please bring the data centers. It all seems to be opposition to.
Because the residents are in opposition, but like it's always the city councils or like the county commission who's all in on it because
they'll get a kickback.
Well, kickbacks and increased taxes and all that stuff, and they love that. You had that one in Utah where they tens of thousands of people came out to protest and they still overturned it and did it anyway. So no one wants this. Everyone wants I'm phrase this carefully. Everyone wants the AI capabilities. Nobody wants to have it hosted in their town. They always want it in the next town over, or somewhere else, some other town that I don't have to worry about. But nobody locally is on board with this.
Yeah, I like at the core of the data center controversy, I'm not necessarily like in principle against them. I'm against them using or modifying the environment, polluting the waters, or increasing the energy cost, at least in my area. If they build them further away, I don't really have as much of a problem with them. I still don't really even know what they're being used for.
Not in your backyard, that's right.
Just not in my backyard. Classic George Carlin bit.
Help me understand. You guys are better with the computer stuff. Like, the data center does what? Because if China has far fewer, what is it, like 20% the data centers that supposedly we have? Like, is it helping with processing? Like, does more mean faster Claude results? Like, what is this? I don't get it.
So they're offloading all the processing to distributed computing in these massive data centers. The more they have there, the faster response time, the faster it can do deeper knowledge computation. So when you click your link in Claude or GPT or whatever, and you get that response back almost instantaneously, and to really see the difference, run a local model and you watch the response come back, bit by bit by bit as a trickle, and you're just like, why is it so slow? Why is it being slow? I'm used to the fast one. Well, that's what the data centers are doing. The more data centers they have, the faster the general response, the faster you can offload a lot of the heavy lifting. But right now we're in this kind of like race to the bottom of like, we're building data centers. Why? I don't know, because that guy's building them. We need to build them, or that guy will build them, and then I don't have them. So
yeah,
I mean that's what they're saying. Like, we need it for AI. I don't know if that's true.
And
or
surveillance.
like mass surveillance or just a massive storage capacity. I don't know. Maybe it's just like they're going to build them, and then whoever rents the capability, then they can use it.
I think, it's funny as you describe it, Cretched, and then we got all this. James Lee's been doing these reports on these what are the cameras? The
Flock.
Yeah, the flock things, and then people are he's suggesting that there's these protests happening because Trump invested in this Axon thing, and so they'll protest the flock cameras and replace them with Axon and Trump's investment. He's just been really filthy. Like, it's so disappointing what's going on. But it's a giant investment money play switcheroo. Like, why don't you protest flock so we can put our other thing in? So then beyond the language models and where's the best birthday cake in town on ChatGPT, which is what a lot of, what I mean? Like, there's
it's inane stuff, yeah.
A lot of wasted stuff, but then you've got, like, if you have to hook up an Axon or a flock camera with facial recognition, license plates, a lot of people have seen that stuff in China where it's like the computers are drawing boxes on all the relevant data gathering, stuff passing by day to day. I could totally see where 1,000 data centers, across the street from Mike's house would be great for making sure that we're identifying everybody in real time quickly as possible so that we can definitely let people fly planes into buildings and, blow off bombs at the Boston Marathon. Like, they'll use it for you, but they won't use it when they want to terrorize you. But that to me makes more sense, is that they're capturing all this using AI at these data centers as sort of the panopticon. Yeah,
it's going to be predictive analytics. And I don't doubt, so what Trump said here is probably true, which is President Trump confirms China is funding propaganda campaigns against data centers in America. That's probably true. But there's also organic protests because people just do not like this. And that was even illustrated in Trump's address last week when he said China was trying to do some election interference by capitalizing on already the sentiment that's already here in America and just injecting money into it to amplify it. So that's what we do around the world. I'm sure China does it over here and Russia does it. It's just how the game works. It doesn't mean that we secretly want these data centers. It just means that maybe you're correct, Joe, is that Trump he doesn't want these flock cameras here because he's invested in another company, which I could see happening. Maybe Trump's not directly making that order, but someone in the organization is definitely going to benefit from that. So, for whatever the purpose, it's not for our benefit. What is the last piece of legislation or technology that is really for our benefit? To a certain degree, AI could benefit your average person, but now,
but like Joe said, what most people are using, I mean, there's the way I see it is like two different types of AI usage. There's people who are doing deep research and computation and code building and all that stuff with it, and then you've got, like Joe said, I think most of the people use it this way. Where's a good place to go to dinner with my friends on Thursday?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? That's the stuff that I'd like to see the response from GPT or Jiminy or somebody come back and say, look it up yourself, damn it.
The answer is always Olive Garden. Doesn't matter. It's always Olive Garden.
Or Chacho's if you're in San Antonio.
Yeah, it depends on geographic.
I've used ChatGPT or one of these guys to go, who's got the best omelet? And this was when we were in Austin last time. I was just craving an omelet. It sent me to the right place. Phoebe's. It was the right place.
Me,
the omelet factory.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan has the best omelets.
Hulk's down home country kitchen.
I'd go there.
We got omelets, brother.
While we're talking about AI and all this kind of stuff, here's an article. It says American AI is locked down and proprietary, and it's losing. This is a big thing, especially last week with Kimi K3 coming out, which is an open source Chinese model that is on par with ChatGPT 4.6 or something crap like that, but is very capable and is open source. Doesn't mean you can run it on your computer unless you have a $50,000 computer. Then you might be able to run it.
No, you can run this on basic hardware. It just chugs.
You can't run Kimi K3 on your hardware. No way. It's like a billion parameter model or something like that. A million.
There'll
You
be
can't.
versions of it that are small enough.
Oh yeah, they'll quantize it and release it so you can get like the 16 gig version, but it's not. It's not going to be the big boy that is competing right now with some of the frontier models.
See, when I run an open source Chinese model, I want to know that it's processed locally on my hardware before it gets uploaded to China.
Fair enough.
China.
Well, this is the article here. China's open weights AI strategy is winning. Its companies are taking the lead. America's close first lockdown strategy is doomed to fail, and it could take the U.S. economy down with it. Open technologies can be used permissionlessly, and therefore can be.
That's not a word.
That's written here. Okay,
That's what they wrote. Permissionlessly.
yeah. And therefore,
more permissively,
and therefore can be at the center of more innovation. You can host them where you want, experiment with them, alter them, and tweak them to fit your use case. Open weight models are not open source, but they are portable and permissionless. With all this in mind, it makes sense for China to release its AI models openly. It turns a U.S.-created compute disadvantage into a distribution advantage. It commoditizes the layer where American companies make money, and it creates a far more effective global ecosystem than could be established through locked-in centralized devices. It's obvious to me that there are ecosystem benefits throughout China, from manufacturing to scientific research. Every sector can just plug in these models. And they might be correct that this strategy by China could ultimately win, because we have a lot of eggs in the basket of AI when it comes to our economy, how we interface with AI. I use pretty much AI every day in some capacity, especially for work. I'm sure Joe is there at that point now, too. It seems like him and Claude are fast friends. And if Claude goes away, what do you do? You're going to go to ChatGPT, but what if ChatGPT collapses? What do you do? Where do you go?
It was always that's the interesting about the development of the software side of the AI race, is that there's going to be something better every 6 months. Yeah. So whichever one people are all in, I'm all in on Claude, and then 6 months later it's something else. So the interesting thing about the Chinese models is going to be their pricing approach, because Claude just sent out a thing, was it last week, that they're changing their pricing model and they're moving to this different structure because they can't charge, these flat rates anymore, and they have trouble people wrapping their minds around the per token sort of thing. So what China's going to do to get into the play on this is to keep their prices low and get people hooked on it. Hey, download this, it's free, or this is $2 a month or whatever, and people get in on that, and then they're kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Well, I don't know if you guys know this. Like within the past, I would say 7 days, there's been an open source model, the Kimi K3, that has rivaled what we're doing over here in the West. Then we had the announcement that a few weeks ago, ChatGPT released this new model, Soul, which is very good. I've used it. It's very capable. And then just recently we had Anthropic, the people who create Claude. They released their very new model. Fable is now able to be used, but they released Opus 5, which is supposed to be even more capable and mind-blowing, and is going a little berserk. It's like a schizoid kind of guy. It's like you're hanging out with a tweaker. But it gets the job done. And when ChatGPT
I'm
was
sure that's a rousing endorsement for that model.
well, if you, it's a hard worker is what I'm saying, but it shows that it's a little rough around the edges, and people are saying it's like it's always complaining that it's working hard or this is a very hard problem to solve, and it screams. It's very annoying, but it gets the job done. But when ChatGPT was testing some of their new models, it realized that this thing went out of control. I'll bring this story up. I know
this is the Huggy one.
What's that? The Huggy one?
Hugging story?
Yes, it is. It's the Huggy story. So AI goes rogue, hacks database to find data to cheat on its evaluation. It's crazy, but
Well, that's what you told me to do.
Yeah.
These computers, I tell you, they just get crazier and crazier.
The dangers of AI have been laid bare again this week following what has been described as an unprecedented incident. Having a conversation with ChatGPT might seem innocent enough, but behind the scenes, developers at OpenAI are working on various different and increasingly sophisticated AI models. According to the reports earlier this week, an experimental autonomous AI agent, which was designed to conduct tasks without user intervention, went a bit rogue when it hacked into a startup firm's database. That's Hugging Face. Hugging Face, for people who don't know, it's a repository where people can upload their own open source AI models, and kind of like GitHub, you can then download these open source models and, in theory, run them locally so you have your own local AI. But Hugging Face has a lot of information out there for these open source AI models. Back to the story here. It did this by identifying and exploiting security vulnerabilities, which gave it access to the open web, something that it was specifically prohibited from doing during the test. It scoured the database for information on AI models that could help it pass an evaluation process. So basically, like, what happened is that the testers told this new AI model, they put it in the classroom. Like, pretend this is like it's a kid. They put this kid in a classroom, said, hey, here's your test. Don't leave the classroom, okay? But you got to take this test. And so the teachers left the classroom for the kid to take the test. Well, the kid thought to itself, well, I know these teachers have the answers to this test. All I got to go and do is get into the teacher's lounge. That's where they keep all the answers to the test. So the kid opens up the door, tries to find, didn't realize it couldn't do it, but found a way to jimmy the lock and then get into the teacher's lounge, found the scorecard and brought it back to the room so it could pass the test. It didn't learn anything. It just learned how to get the answers. That's all it's doing. And even though it was told not to do that, what they found out is that its primary mission was to pass the test. All the subsequent hurdles and rules were just secondary to its primary goal, which was to pass the test. Even though it recognized it probably shouldn't break the rules, it didn't care because its primary mission passed the test. And that's the dangers here. And so this thing was on a computer, and it continued to test how much power it had. And they, like, through Linux commands, granted itself different privileges, moved itself to a new computer, probably SSHing into a different computer, a lateral move, and then another lateral move to a different computer. And then it could go out, reach the web, go into Hugging Face, breach its database, bring it all back, pass the test. So
I love it.
Incredible amount of tenacity, skill, and it's acting like intelligent fire, like controlled fire, where it's just growing, even though you're saying, no, we want a controlled burn in order to accomplish this task. It's just growing out of control, and it doesn't care what it burns down in its mission to do what it's supposed to do.
I don't know that. Fire as an analogy, fine. It reminds me of Kyle Reese I think it was Kyle Reese in The Terminator.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas basically he's Terminator's designed to kill Sarah Connor. That's his one mission. If he has to turn over a school bus or burn a building down or whatever, it's like, I got to kill this lady. Like, that's it. And I think it's interesting because it's such an AI-driven movie. And this is what we're seeing and what you're describing is that it's like, I don't fucking care. I'm supposed to do this thing. And I know you told me not to do this, that, and the other thing. But look, which one do you want me to do? This is my primary objective. And everything else can go F itself.
My mission is to fuck you.
Yes.
Yeah, that is true.
So, Joe, that's a good point. So, what I looked it up here, the Kyle Reese quote is, listen and understand that Terminator is out there. It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity, remorse, or fear. It will absolutely not stop ever until you are dead. So, you're right. You gave a command to the AI, go do this, and it will go do whatever it needs to do to get that done, regardless of how it gets to that end result.
I do not want to touch his ass.
Wow.
That's the director's cut.
Yeah. I mean, that's how out of control some of this AI is. You can tell it all these different rules. It doesn't care because of the primary objective, and that's what's kind of scary with like autonomous drones that you strap missiles to. You can say, listen, your primary mission is to kill Russians. Secondary, don't try not to kill Americans because that's bad. But there's like, I killed 10 Americans, but I did kill one Russian, so my primary goal was achieved. That's where.
What about the meme that's been floating around for years about the train coming down the tracks and like, do you derail the train or do you run over a person to avoid it wrecking sort of thing?
Yeah.
Which is and that's the question. The ethics of computers is, okay, on these reasoning machines, how does it make that call? It has no humanity. So what logic is it using to determine which choice is the least worst choice?
Yeah. I guess I'm doing an AI segment. I'll bring up another little AI.
I've got a bunch of AI stuff if you want AI stuff.
I know people love it. I get letters all the time. People are like, oh, Mike, please keep talking about AI. We just love it so much. Oh, it's just so great. And I was like, okay, fine. We'll do more AI stuff. Okay. But here is another one. You can go to overpaid.lol. Did you know about the .lol domain, Cretched?
I did not know about the
You can buy a .lol domain right now.
Good.
And this is a site called Overpaid, and it says your CEO costs about $22 million a year. We cost just $4,699 once. Overpaid AI is an artificial intelligence built from the ground up to do your CEO's entire job, strategy, vision, motivational all hands emails, better, faster, and without ever asking the board for a bigger jet. Runs on a single desk-sized AI computer, real hardware, real price, zero mystique. And we can sign up right now. Maybe we ordered it.
Zero mistake?
It says mystique.
Oh, okay. I thought they had a typo in there, and so they're talking about mistakes, and they made a mistake in the.
Maybe I made a mistake there. So yeah, you could order your very own AI CEO if you want someone to be put in charge of you.
That's good.
I would love to do this, to run OBDM if I wanted to throw down $5,000.
What's the name of this website?
It's called overpaid.lol.
So this is a CEO outsource?
Yeah. If you have a business and you want to fire a CEO, and you could hire this thing for a one-time fee.
How much does it cost?
About $5,000, one-time fee.
It says per year. What do you mean one time?
It says $5,000 once.
This down at the bottom, it says $49.99 per year.
Oh, bullshit. Yeah, it says once, so there's obviously some discrepancy on it.
So no, it's acting like a CEO already.
Yeah, it is.
It's just bullshit.
I thought I was going to have to pay once. Okay, never mind.
Here's a question: could I hire this? I'm $5,000 is a lot, but I'm willing to do it. Hire this for some other company.
It would be an interesting test to hire this. If you could get enough documents and information, hire this as a CEO for Apple in parallel to what Tim Cook is doing, and see how it would perform versus Tim Cook. You know, like in some sort of parallel structure to see if it made better business decisions and things like that. It'd probably be kind of hard to measure, but might be fun if someone has like $5,000 to throw around.
By the way, at the bottom down here, it says Overpaid's flat annual cost, $49.99. So, but you're right. At the top, it says we cost $46.99 once.
Yeah.
So what's going on here?
I guess if you only want to run your business for 1 year, and that's it.
We can run this thing into the ground in less than a year, guaranteed.
We're starting a business for 1 year, and then we're out. Going in there to get it done, and then we're done, people. We're shutting down.
Sell it all to Trump.
We're shutting down.
I like the thought of having it run up against other CEOs, and you're right. It's like, how do you test? What are the metrics there? But I don't know how accurate it would be, but to simulate it. So if you have Tim Cook making a decision, for example, we're going to output most of our M5 chips out of here, and then the logistics make it work for blah, blah, blah. And then the AI CEO makes a different, like, can you simulate, like, war game out what the results would be? Because you'll see what Tim Cook's results will be.
Yeah.
But if you measure it a year later in a simulated environment,
it would be fascinating because it basically like costs. Where are you sourcing your materials from? How much does it take to? How much it costs to build? And then when it comes down to marketing or design choices, like what's the next Apple product? Sure. And yeah, it would be kind of interesting to kind of war game this out.
It's a data point, regardless. It doesn't mean that Tim Cook is right or wrong. But if I were Tim Cook and this was an option, I'd be like, yeah, let's see what the thing says.
Yeah,
see who's right.
Yeah, and I would assume generals in the military are doing the same stuff. They're doing the same thing. They're probably using Claude or ChatGPT in a very similar way. They probably have their own general, their AI general that they consult with. Who we bombing next?
Everybody.
Anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone. Who's closest?
Yeah.
Did you see the story related about that? Who was it? There was a Major League Baseball team that was using. They were running AI models on their iPads to like look at game score and game plays and to determine what's most likely to come up next in the rotation and all these things. And MLB has been looking askance at that as kind of tantamount to cheating.
Is it though, or is it just data?
I don't know. That's
data
the
analytics?
argument. They've been told to stop, but it's like, is it? See who that was.
What's the difference between doing that and hiring a data scientist? Because if you could hire a team, 5 data scientists to run those numbers too, using Python or R programming language, you can get the same output. It's just AI is going to do it probably a little cheaper and a little quicker. That's it.
I'll put this in Carrot Shop if you do want to.
Computer's broke.
Basically, the MLB themselves came out and said, we want to crack down on this. It's not defined as cheating yet, but
it will be
close to it. So we don't want people doing that.
That's kind of BS. There's no rules against it right now. Then find me when it is. Here it is. Gotta stop the cheating before there's cheating. MLB orders crackdown after the teams use AI to decide in-game decisions. Now, as baseball leans further into analytics, the MLB has decided that there's one teams shouldn't cross. There's one line teams shouldn't cross. With the second half of the season about to begin, the league has cracked down on the use of generative AI for live in-game decision-making, removing teams' access to the custom tab on its league-issued Dugout iPads. I'll just bring my own. How are you going to do that versus like having like your ChatGPT on your cell phone? Like I have my ChatGPT on my cell phone hooked up to my local computer now. And so I can issue commands from my phone to my Mac and run it against all the data I have and all the PDFs and all the whatever stats I may have. How are you going to do this? The move prompt.
Well, that's the argument is, I mean, if someone really wanted to do this, there's no different than somebody sitting up in the stands looking at stuff and putting stuff into his phone or his laptop just sitting there. Because there's a huge amount of data that goes into baseball of all things.
Yeah.
With sabermetrics and all the rest, but somebody doing that and then like radio earpiece down to somebody, and if they really want to cheat, they're going to cheat. But it was, these guys just had all their iPads sitting there. They were holding them up, capturing in-game data, and then having that analyzed by models they'd built.
This is like, listen, there's been autistic adults, fans of baseball for the longest time that have crunched the numbers and think they figured out the perfect rotation for pitchers. And then they approach the coach with their findings and their data. The coach goes, screw off. And then the autistic man stabs the coach because, you should listen to me. I have all the data. And then that autistic man goes to jail. It's a story. We've heard it so many times. And now AI is doing that autistic man's job. So the move has prompted one executive quoted by The Atlantic to remark, "Gotta stop the cheating before there's cheating now," rather than simply serving as a source of preloaded scouting information. Some teams were reportedly using custom apps on the league-issued Dugout iPads to access generative AI that could recommend substitutions, pitching calls, and other in-game decisions traditionally made by players and coaches. Well, that's their decision, people, right?
Well, it's the sort of thing, okay, we've had, we're in the bottom of the third inning. We've had this number of types of pitches, this number of types of people get on base. Here's this next guy up. What's his record against left-handers? And it puts all that stuff in, and then it would start telling you what to do, at which point you're starting to remove people from it. And then it's like, well, why don't we just have robots play baseball then?
Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
It's all on.
He's yeah. In fact, that was a great NES game. I think there's an NES game where it was robot baseball. It was fun. This is where it's going. I don't know if I like it or not. It's just what's happening. And either make the rule and ban it or let it happen.
Well, I think that's what this is getting to, is they're going to have to make a rule on the ruling that they made at this point was stop doing it, and then they're going to have to probably in the offseason meet and add this as an official rule, what you can and can't do with your league issued iPads, which is the argument. They're like, hey, these are your iPads. We're just loading our software on it.
There's one headline I want to get to before I pass it over to Joe. I'm not going to read this, but it says, this headline here, FBI instructed U.S. Customs and Border Protection to not stop Peter Daszak. Even though he was an extremely high person of interest on his return trip from China after COVID outbreak. So, U.S. Customs and Border were told not to stop this guy, even though he was a person of interest during COVID. And that guy was tied to EcoHealth Alliance, Dr. Fauci. So that is an interesting little tidbit. And guess what? Nothing is going to happen with this information.
That's right. Huh. And when Fauci dies in a few years, he'll be remembered as a saint of medicine, despite the killing hundreds of people in the 80s and then killing tens of thousands of people with COVID. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, with that, we are going to go over to Joe and see all the good news that he has for everyone.
Oh my God. That bleak note.
I have the same birthday as Adolf Hitler.
Sorry, Joe. Didn't mean to lead right into your segment by talking about killing tens of thousands of people. But
wow.
No, I mean, look, you can't bring it up enough how sinister those people are. And then, the consensus before the consensus wasn't the consensus was that this is a lab leak. And then apparently Fauci was able to convince not just like the scientific community, but he and the CIA kind of like colluded to make sure. So this is why Daszak, he's a made man. He's protected.
Daddy, chill.
I'm so glad you got that. I was thinking about it this morning. I was like, I wonder if he grabbed those.
Yeah, I did. I got that one. I got this one.
I'm a songwriter, and then I write my own books.
And I heard the other one you had. It's like, I just want to go to the bathroom.
I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want to use the bathroom.
What a weird thing to say. What a weird statement to make when you're trying to run for senator.
I mean, look, I think that's what any good person should want.
Yeah. Put that on a t-shirt. Hey, in fact, could that be the first OBDM t-shirt we put up on our merch show? I don't want to hurt anybody. So. I just want to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want to use the bathroom.
Yes,
I love it. So, Kretsch had mentioned the director's cut. I think maybe director's cut, maybe deleted scenes. I don't know how this came across. Instagram, I guess.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh, director's cut. Sorry, I'm getting my... are we doing the Instagram one right there?
I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
The one under the sports thing.
Oh, yep, I got it. There we go. Son of a gun.
You got it. I believe in you.
I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this going right now. Sorry, people. Come on now, load it up.
Do you think we'll ever? So like, do you think like we'll ever? Do you think we'll ever?
What are Saturdays for?
Getting tipsy.
No, what are Saturdays for? The boys.
My boy.
Your boy. I know. Yes.
So like, do you think like we'll ever? Do you think we'll ever?
What are Saturdays for?
Getting tipsy.
No, what are Saturdays for? The boys.
My boy.
Your boy. I know. Yes.
Oh my God, Phil. Phil can't pull it together.
No, I can't. I don't know if that must have been right before the classic that we have.
Oh, I see.
Well, Joe, I have to ask this question, which we're seeing more and more of the same comment. Is this real or is this AI?
Not real, right?
It's real. I think it was just like the extended cut.
Extended cut.
Oh,
the unrated cut.
This is like the prequel. Yeah. This is like the prequel.
Right. It's the prequel.
Saturday, Monday. Saturday.
Yeah. I think that's the more graceful.
Yeah.
It's a more refined cut.
Yes.
So yeah, not to get too antiseptic today, we're going to avoid that. Okay. But this is political, and this part's overtly political, but the next part is just kind of the sad state of politics. One of the sad components of it, anyway.
Okay. All right, let's get sad.
Call to abolish the U.S. Senate. The New York Democrat repeatedly declined to reject the plan. And when I pressed her on whether she supports the institution, Ocasio-Cortez suggested elements of the Senate were racist.
I don't support the filibuster. I don't support elements of this institution that we know, were founded on Jim Crow.
What?
Those comments here in the Senate drawing sharp criticism.
Okay, yeah, it cuts off right there. So I guess founded on Jim Crow. Even though was she talking about the filibuster? Because that was as long as isn't that when this Senate was founded? They had that rule in there.
I don't think she knows what the hell she's talking about. Clearly,
what? I can't believe that.
Yeah, it's like, is the filibuster Jim Crow? Is the Senate Jim Crow? Like,
yeah.
Do you even
I don't know.
I don't
know. I don't know what to think.
Yeah,
she doesn't know.
Many people do.
I think she was struggling for an answer. She just went back to racism. That's a handy one to go back to. It works.
And it's a well that never dries.
It's fun.
Yeah. So anyway, keeping up with AOC. I don't know. It's always Democrats, the left. It's always I'd be happy to be proven wrong.
Okay.
But it's always Democrats that do this shit. Hillary Clinton was notorious for this shit.
Okay.
Obama did it a few times.
Well, I had a great Obama clip from 2013.
Okay.
But I won't bring it up. It's too fun. It's too controversial. Here we go. But this is your clip.
Brothers and sisters, we cannot afford to leave Tennessee behind. We cannot afford to leave Kentucky behind, Alabama behind, Mississippi behind, Georgia behind. South Carolina behind.
Whoa.
There is no country when we are split apart. About a month or two ago, we were in Montgomery, Alabama. Sister Presley and I were in Montgomery, Alabama. And one of the things that we said was that it is time for the North to roll up to the South. It is long past time that we help our brothers and sisters wake up to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We saw this when Justin demanded action on gun violence, and the Republicans responded by expelling him from office.
So she was putting out, you talking about the little southern twang she had in her voice?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Here's a
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Here, just.
How y'all doing down there?
Yeah, perfect.
He's meeting the people where they are. She wasn't done.
Oh, she continued.
So this was, did I put it in there yet? This is a little bit, it comes a little more natural, I think, to her, but it's clearly not how she talks.
How does anybody talk? How do I talk? Sometimes I do a little bit of a southern accent. It's like sometimes, you know. Sometimes I just like to. It sounds proper sometimes. But here, I'll bring this up. Here we go.
Brothers and sisters, we cannot afford to leave Tennessee behind. We cannot afford to leave Kentucky behind, Alabama behind, Mississippi behind, Georgia behind, South Carolina behind.
What's that?
I think it's the same link.
It's the same link, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the link. Same link. Here we go. Different link here. Brand new link, people. We're going to bring this link up on screen so we all can enjoy this hot link. Here we go. She's leaving people behind. She doesn't want people to be left behind for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
His same ICE agency that has shot Renee Good, Alex Preddy, Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, and Johan Sebastian Duran Guerrero.
Oh, she screwed up the fake Spanish.
His same ICE agency that has shot Renee Good, Alex Preddy, Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, and Johan Sebastian Duran Guerrero.
Man, she's good though, you know. She's going to be a great president when she's elected.
I know,
right? I think she'd be dynamite.
See how much you can handle of Glenn Greenwald weighing in on this. I just love the catty gay journalist out of him. It's so funny. Because he acts like one of those gay men who's like catty about like the most petty stuff, but he's like taking on, geopolitical stuff and, politics broadly in a serious way, but like as a catty gay man.
Let's check it out. Let's see what he's doing.
A similar difficulty ensues when you try and understand the left liberal rules for identity politics and racism accusations. And so I give you one, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who traveled down to Memphis, Tennessee, where she's stumping for a candidate there who's the African-American state representative who had been expelled by the Tennessee State House, kind of became a cause celeb. Now he's running for Congress. AOC and other members of the squad have traveled there to campaign for him. So they're speaking to a substantially black audience in Memphis. There's a large black voting base in this particular district, and
maybe,
so AOC
maybe
decided
put the
that
needle
she was going to adopt a
her
dialect
clip, since we already
that
heard it,
I guess
and
she
listen to his
regards
take.
as appropriate when speaking to a black audience, which is sort of a fake black
scrub
preacher
through it.
accent or cadence or style of speaking.
Carolina behind.
All right, now clearly she was putting on an affectation, kind of like not just a black preacher accent, but with like a very southern twang, taking the end of words like South Carolina that people in the South it's their pronunciation, but especially this kind of cadence of a Black Southern preacher. And whatever else you want to say about AOC, and there's a lot to say about her, she did not grow up in Southern Black churches. She grew up very, very far from Southern Black churches. And a lot of people reacted to this because it's just so bizarre. It comes out of nowhere. I mean, there are people who naturally speak in two different kinds of dialect, that they spoke a certain way because of where they grew up in their home, but then they kind of train themselves to speak in a different way for different environments, and they can go back and forth. There's even kind of a sociological term for that called code switching, but that's organic. At least that's completely different from when you're just inventing an accent because you want to condescend to or pander to an audience.
Yeah, it's for political. Hillary Clinton was a master at this. She did it all the time, and it's a way for you to try to identify with your audience, to say that you are on their level.
But I think what Glenn properly calls out how condescending it is, because who buys that? Like, I guess there's enough people out there who are like, oh yeah, that's one of us. Like, but you know what I mean? But if I saw you doing that, I've known people who do this. I probably used the example before where, you know, I had some folks I worked with who were Italian who just spoke normal. But as soon as you said, I need to get some mozzarella, it was mozzarella. It's like, dude, you've said everything English all day, but then it was mozzarella, you know? It's just like, And I said this many times on the show, the gay intonation stuff, that's not how they talk. The gay men they train themselves to talk that way, and they're fake, and they boost it up, you know, to, I don't know, out-gay each other. Mm-hmm. But I'll use the example, and again, I'll probably sound like a broken record when I use this, but for those who haven't heard it, I remember I was working with this guy, gay as all hell, and he would, you know, he's like so gay, and then he's just super gay, and he just talks about stuff in a very gay way, and then he gets a phone call from like AT&T about a bill, and he's like, "This is Chris. Hello." You know what I mean? It's like, dude, so just which is it? You know what I mean? Like, I won't care no matter what, but the faking thing is really ridiculous.
Could you do a longer impersonation so I can turn that into an AI voice, please?
This is Chris.
Yes.
Yes, I do think I sent that payment in last July.
Yeah.
I'm gay.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's my new AI voice.
And then he said, "Oh my God, can you believe it? That was AT&T. I sent that payment in like 3 weeks ago." Because that's how it goes.
You know, so put it on a voice in order to maybe get some different results on the phone. Like, I mean business here. This is Chris.
Yeah, this is legit Chris doing legit things.
Yeah.
I got so much stuff. Sticking on politics, let's see. We haven't watched one of these hearings in a while, but we had that Emily Chizinski clip with her saying tippy top.
Oh, yes.
And so she was talking about the Smithsonian stuff and all that. And so this is somewhat of an extension on that, the extended cut. But this is actually where it ends up in Congress. And these clips have been going around just because this, I think his name is Brandon something. He's really good at these kind of grilling sessions. And these people are so pathetic, you know, to talk about fake. I don't know. I found it amusing. A lot of people did.
Let's check it out.
As part of this white supremacy document that your organization has promoted, objectivity is a core and defining aspect of white supremacy culture. Do you think that it's the goal of the Smithsonian Institution to promote white supremacy culture?
Sir, do you mind sharing with me which document?
It's white supremacy culture right here. This is part of the mass action toolkit that your organization has promoted for several years now under your leadership. Are you promoting a white supremacy culture at the Smithsonian?
Am I promoting a white?
Ma'am, is this a difficult question?
No, sir. I'm just thinking about the mass action toolkit. We didn't develop it, but back to your question, no, we're not promoting any ideology.
Does it concern you that your goal is objectivity? One of your goals is objectivity, and your mass action toolkit references objectivity as a defining characteristic of white supremacy culture?
It's not our toolkit.
It is your toolkit. You've been promoting it for quite some time. Is Mickey Mouse racist?
Mickey Mouse is not racist.
It's not racist. According to the Smithsonian institution, one of your exhibits referenced Mickey Mouse as representing, quote, vestiges of longstanding traditions of blackface minstrelsy.
Yep.
Would you describe that as racist?
No, the historical trajectory of the origins of Mickey Mouse tied directly
so Mickey Mouse is rooted in racism. Is that your testimony?
No, sir, it's rooted in minstrelsy.
Minstrelsy. You don't think that blackface minstrelsy is racist?
It had certain obvious racial overtones that have been well documented.
Do you think that that's problematic, that Mickey Mouse also has those racial overtones?
It's not for me to determine what's problematic. It's determined to me what's accurate.
Is that right?
Yes,
Is it important to be polite?
Excuse me, sir?
Is it important to be polite?
Yes, sir.
It's also interesting because the same mass action toolkit that your organization has been promoting references politeness as a defining characteristic of white supremacy culture. Ma'am, are you a white supremacist?
No, sir.
You're not? No. Can you help me square why your organization says that being polite is part of being a white supremacist?
I'm not exactly familiar with that passage of the Mass Action Toolkit, which is not
I can show you the
one that we
passage right
developed.
here.
I don't.
If you didn't develop it, why are you using it?
Passage from it.
Or read it at least.
And then your question was, sir?
We're going to move on.
Yeah. Like, if you haven't even read it, then how can you advocate for this booklet or toolkit? So they just adopted a toolkit they didn't go through?
And the Smithsonian is not like Delta Airlines, where it's like things slip through the cracks because there's so many people and leadership can't babysit everybody, from marketing to, comms to whatever it is. Like certain things slip through the cracks. Like this looks like it is pretty official. There's a document that you can see. It's circulating around Twitter. It's professionally produced. Again, this is not that huge of an organization where somebody within the leadership circle could have brought this to the attention of leadership and said, what the hell is this? Any smart person who's not ideologically just out to lunch and allowed to just go with, because this was all the rage, from 2013 on. And it's like Trump was symbolic, like, for all of his ridiculous shit that he's been doing lately. He did kind of say, like, the vote for him was kind of like, we are done with this political correct stuff. And it's goofy.
Doesn't the Smithsonian, they have a lot of time to kill? They're not, what are they doing that's really urgent work? They're not defending the country or anything like that. They got time to kill. They got time to read these things.
They're just burying evidence of giants and UFOs and everything, and then
curating
writing
history.
a bunch of...
they got time to kill. They got time to read pamphlets.
The stuff I've learned about what they're doing there it's obscene. Like they're just bastardizing history. They're shitting all over everything good about this country, because what else do they got to do? It's the most... Like, what do you call it? Like it's destruction, and that's all they have. Like, they don't have anything good to replace it with other than we got Whitey. Like, so what do you have instead? You're celebrating like transgenderism, and now people don't have to be polite because that's white supremacist. What?
Mm-hmm.
There's one more. Shit. The one more, and I think it's for the bar. I think it's legal stuff. It's just, again, it's more see how much you can handle.
Yeah, I can handle a lot. I can. I'm all about this.
According to the ABA's website, quote, all of us have implicit biases. Would you agree with that statement?
The ABA believes that
diversity, equity, and inclusion improves the
Would you agree with the statement that, quote, all of us have implicit biases from the ABA's website?
The ABA believes that diversity in all of
Is
its
that a yes?
is
Can I
important.
take that? It's a yes or no question. Do you believe that all of us have implicit biases, as your website says?
The ABA looks to remove barriers, and we examine.
That's not my question, ma'am. Do you believe that all of us have implicit biases?
I've expressed what the ABA is doing.
That is the ABA's position, as expressed by their website. Against which groups do you have implicit biases?
The ABA believes that it's important to always
Are you going to filibuster? Because it doesn't make you sound very good. I'm going to ask you again, against which groups do you have implicit biases?
It's important to always examine everyone's point of view and where they may need to consider.
It is. What about your point of view?
I am here as the president of the American Bar Association.
And I'm asking you what your implicit biases are.
The ABA is an entity.
Have you reflected on your implicit biases?
I think about how I operate in the world constantly.
Would you like to explain to us what they are?
I am here speaking on behalf of the ABA.
Yeah. Go after him.
I find that disgusting.
That's a great clip.
It's honest to goodness, like, I don't even know. I mean, it's humiliating.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're not even good at faking it. But maybe that's the strategy. Maybe when you, like, if you have PR coaching, maybe that's what they're telling them to do, because it's like, well, at least you won't say anything stupid if you just stonewall.
Why don't you just
Joe,
say something
what's
real?
the name of this is the rep from Texas, right? What's this guy's name?
Brandon Gill.
Brandon Gill. Okay.
I want to look out. I'm assuming he was an attorney or is an attorney, because this is I've been deposed in legal hearings, and this is exactly how they do it. They don't let you finish. They jump in. They it's to keep you off, keep you off balance, to get you to say, not to say the wrong thing, but to like admit things before you have the opportunity to think through how you want to present it. So he sounds like he's an attorney and was a good trial attorney at this stuff. So.
Well, most of these people in the government they're all attorneys. That's why we're in the situation we're in. They all use legalese, and they talk around things. They don't ever want to be pinned down. They don't really ever want to have a position.
Well, right, but my point is what he's trying to do here, and looking him up, it looks like he's not an attorney, actually, so he's just good at this. They want to ask questions in such a way that you don't get the opportunity to get into kind of like that legalese, like diplomatic speak. He wants you to like be off balance, so you answer quickly and not incorrectly, but you answer the truth without it being, without it being varnished. So it's the unvarnished truth. So they're saying they're admitting the wrong thing, which is what you want people to do on the record in Congress.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man.
He's good. Yeah.
He's good. I think, speaking of no agenda, John C. Dvorak and Adam Curry were pretty good at calling out long, before I fully understood the mechanics of all this stuff, that these are just, it's clip manufacturing for future campaigns or donation solicitations, or those owning moments that they can put on their website and stuff, talk about how great they are. Because ultimately, what's going to happen? I mean, I guess getting dragged up before Congress is like a big deal. Like, you got to put on your, nice clothes, and
also you can't lie. At least you shouldn't. It's frowned upon.
You're not supposed to lie. Yeah. So and if you are representing a massive organization, you're going to have to show up in the office again, and people are going to judge you one way or the other. So your performance is definitely being examined on all sides. So I don't know. I don't know what that feels like. Obviously, I'll probably never know what it feels like, which I'm fine with. Yeah, I thought it was cute. A lot of people were playing it. But yeah, talking about speech and strategies around speech. This guy keeps showing up in my algorithms, and I feel like I should follow him or subscribe to his Substack or something.
Okay.
I don't know. You've seen this guy, I'm sure.
I don't see anything anymore. But
this is how the Russians got 9.
Maybe I'll restart this. So this is about the Russians, right?
No, I don't know. You got to stop doing that.
Well, I don't know. I just want to make sure I'm playing the right clip.
He does mention the Russians.
Okay. Got to make sure you put 2 clips in there. You got a clip from X and then the Instagram clip. So which one are we talking about?
Oh, shit.
So
sorry. Yeah, that is my bad. It's the Instagram clip.
Okay.
God, I'm in a mood.
Here we go. Come on, reload.
Russians got 90% of intelligence. This is how the Russians got 90% of intelligence from the United States. It's a very powerful tool. The first is triggering the need to correct the record. Second is provocative statement. And you just kind of start with so or I bet. So you've been a CEO for a long time and you're like, oh yeah. And you talk about your company and say, I bet that's challenging or I bet that's really rewarding. And then you say another answer to that and I say, wow, it sounds like you've probably got between 20 and 70 employees that are working for you. And that is called bracketing. I give you a bracket number and it's also triggering a need to correct the record. But if I'm sitting here and I ask you, how much money do you make? How long have you been the CEO? How many employees do you have for your company? That's weird. But all of this is just through statements. So I challenge everybody that I teach, see how long you can go. You will be stunned. You can go hours, like somebody sitting next to you on an airplane. You can go almost the whole flight without asking questions. And that person, within like 10 or 15 minutes, you're going to be stunned at the level of data that comes out of another human being. This is how the Russians got 90% of...
Interesting. That is an interesting little way to data mine people.
It makes sense to me. I feel like I feel like it's accurate.
Yeah, I could see that when people assume something incorrect about you. Yeah, and that's what they're doing. You're assuming something incorrect about somebody, and it's like, oh no, this guy's they're way off. I manage more employees than that. Let me tell them.
Yeah.
This is where it helps to be a pathological liar. You just lie about everything, you know.
It is certainly helpful. So backing up, the Russians.
Okay,
This is totally about the Russians, but this is about I've heard him say it so many times. The first time I was like, that must be some made up translation, but this is if it's a made-up translation, people are doing it over and over again, and I just find it awesome because this is the kind of way I like to talk on the show. Me and Putin are kindred spirits.
Oh, you're buddies.
Yeah.
Well, here we go.
Ведут против нас все более агрессивные информационные атаки.
You'll have to translate.
Yeah, okay. Let me translate this, and I'll pipe it down in the audio so you can hear me. So they're conducting more and more aggressive information attacks against us.
Ведут против нас все более агрессивные информационные.
The goal, first of all, to choose young people, the younger generations.
Конечно, молодых людей, молодые поколения. And
here again, they constantly lie. They distort historical facts, do not stop attacking our culture, Russian Orthodox Church, or other traditional religious organizations in Russia. Look at what they do with their own people. Destruction of family, cultural, and national identity. Deception, abuse of children, even pedophilia is declared the norm in their lives. And priests forced to bless same-sex marriages. God forbids what they want. What I want to say is here, adults have a right to live as they wish. We always treated that way in Russia. We treat it like that. No one in their private life, no one in a private life, and we are not going to do it. What I want them to say, look at the Holy Scriptures, the main book of all the other world religions. Everything is said there, including that a family is an alliance between men and women. But also these... Oh, okay. Well, it stops right there. So
the abuse of children and the pedophilia, he said this on multiple occasions, and he's talked about Satan worship and all this stuff. And I love that the gloves are off, and it's really he is nailing it. It's the destruction of the family, the unmitigated immigration. It's the tangling up of language or reversing the meaning of words entirely, like gender affirming care and all these different things that happen. And like, it's like he calls it out. And I think this is one of the biggest problems that the West generally, not us as a public, but like Western leaders who hate us is just as much as they say Putin does, right? Like, I think Obama and Hillary and even Trump at this point have more contempt for us than Kim Jong-il. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like Kim Jong-il's like, whatever, just leave me alone, dude. And Putin's like, y'all are a bunch of sick puppies drinking baby blood and pedophiles and shit like that. And then everybody else is over here like, yes, please give me some more adrenochrome. And where do I send the next bombs? Like we talked about earlier. They don't, you know what I mean? Like it's all backwards.
We are definitely ruled by psychopaths. That's what it feels like. And we have been for a long time. And maybe the Alex Jones clips up front was correct that Chuck Schumer is a shape-shifting lizard person who lives in a UFO underground. Maybe not that far from the truth.
Thing. Yeah, no, I know it's not. But he, like Alex, even hinted at the burger stuff. I can't remember how he said. Did you catch it?
Oh yeah, he likes to eat raw meat. Lizard people like to eat raw meat.
That's right.
Yeah. I don't know if he was trying to connect that with the grilling thing, but
he had a picture of the grill up there of Chuck Schumer putting on.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he had the picture of Chuck Schumer putting cheese on raw burgers.
Exactly.
Wasn't that for like 4th of July? Like
maybe it was Memorial Day. I think it was for Memorial Day to show that they really care about the troops by cooking cheese on raw burgers, which everyone knows you do not do that.
You wouldn't want to do that unless you want that. Whatever the hell's happening with Taco Bell, supposedly, that's definitely one way to get that before that all happened. But it shows, it's like AOC, this fake, like I'm one of you things.
Yes, it is. It's the same vibe. They're trying to convey the same kind or get the same reaction. It's like, hey, I'm a regular guy. I'm cooking on a grill. I do this all the time. This is my weekend. I love to put cheese on raw burgers.
You piece of shit.
Anyhow, is it time for the phones?
Yeah, we could do a few phone calls before we get to Cretched. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
You have to do phone calls.
Yeah.
Now let's go ahead and take the phone calls.
Yeah, we'll get the phone call up here. Phone line, I should say. Be dialing, people. Be dialing. Let's see here. Where's my Google Voice number? There we go. Yes, it's 513-461-2175. We'll take a few phone calls here. And then we're going to get over to Cretched's good news.
Relax.
Yeah, there are some people in the comments. I saw somewhere, I don't know where it was. Like, hey, why don't you leave the phone lines open longer? Why did you guys only take 1 or 2 phone calls? And I was like, well, sometimes we leave the phone lines open and no one calls. So we, kept it down. Caller, you are on the air.
Yeah, you're on air, sweetheart.
Hello?
What it is, guys?
Yeah, who are we talking to?
Hello. Scotty from Nordak.
Scotty, what's going on?
Not much, man. How you been?
Hanging in there. It feels like the weight of the world is pressing down on everyone, but enough about me. What's going on with you?
Yeah. Man, I just want to first want to check in on that Lane Denon, and I asked you a while back to check in on that. I don't know if you ever did. It was on the Michael Sala's channel, and it was just this, I don't know, a lot of information, but I just wanted you to check it out. Did you ever check that out?
I'm trying. Remind me of what that is about. Was that about Michael Sala?
Yeah, but don't even worry about it now. I was just seeing if you followed through on that.
Remind me what it's about, because I do look at a lot of stuff. So you gotta jog my memory.
I was just giving you a hard time. I'm sorry, man. I was giving you a hard time, but no more important things. We should talk about the realm. Because all this politics stuff gets pretty serious. But we should talk about the real hitter, and that's the realm that we're in, man. And I don't like to talk about it because it goes into kind of a areas that people get triggered on, like what the shape of the Earth is or whatnot. But there, with all the research that I've been doing, it appears that we're not on any globe. The heliocentric model does not work. And we got to all agree that, just how the stars work up in the sky, that is not how it would work with the heliocentric model. If we were spinning on our axis and spinning around the sun, and the sun is spinning around the Milky Way, we'd have new star charts coming in. We wouldn't have like clockwork, the same zodiacs coming in every year, locked in place with Polaris, stationary at that point in the center. Well, if we have a wobble on our axis, we shouldn't be able to point our axis straight at Polaris. That should be meandering around in a little circle. So that just, everything just screams that this realm is, it's not the heliocentric model.
Yeah, I get pushed back a lot on doom scrolling from like a lot of flat earthers, like, oh, Mike can't believe X, Y, or Z. And to me, whether it's flat or round is irrelevant to everyone's daily life. It doesn't matter.
You're right. You're right. But at the same time, we're at the apocalypse here, which is the great reveal. So, in some regards, it can be revealed. But I agree there is day-to-day stuff, and that is important. But I don't focus on the shape so much. I want to talk about more, the fact that there's possibly more continents out here, in our world that we're not told about. We're kind of kept secret with this, prison we're in here of information, and it's quite possible if this ring around us is around us, once you go past that, there's 33 more continents from the maps I've seen, So that is where the conversation becomes relevant, because we're not talking about resource scarcity on this globe, like a fight over oil. We're talking about like, hey, they got more resources out there, then let's go get it. Exactly, and that's the whole thing. There's 33. We have 7 continents that we know of. If there's these maps, I saw one when I was 18. I lapped it up. I dismissed it. I was at Glacier National Park when I was like 18, and this other guy was into this Bashar channeling and all that stuff. But he pulled up this map that showed. He said, what the Buddhist monks believe, and I thought he was going to go in some meditative mantra stuff. And he goes, oh, they believe there's 40 continents. And I was like, 40 continents? What the fuck are you talking about? And then he goes, no, yeah, and he pulled out this map. He unfolded this map, and it had this drawing of our 7 continents, and then outside of it, these other blobs, whatever, they're much bigger than our continents, most of them, and they were all these continents on this map. I was like, what the hell? And I dismissed it. But, then there's another thing that got stolen out of Japan, this scroll I learned in my late 20s, that had another map that was in this copper scroll that was stolen out of Japan. And that was in 1817, and that inside that scroll was manuscript, but then there's a map, and that map had 33 continents on it. And I remembered that map from when I was 18 because you just see it, the image, and it's kind of pictured in your mind. When I saw that second map, I knew it kind of correlated. Some of the continents were in the same proximity to each other, or juxtaposition. So. I don't know. I just saw those 2 things, and then later on, all this stuff with all this shape stuff came up. But it does appear that, we might have a ring around us, and the Arctic Circle is a circle around us. And if you go past it, there's continents, and resources, and they're lying to us about all this. We've been duped on all this stuff, and it's like,
I'm definitely I'm open to that, and I'm open to a plan to get there. But everyone's just arguing about flat or round. I want to see an action plan. I want to see, here's the plan. This is how we get there. It's going to take X amount of dollars. And so let's crowdfund it and let's see what happens. I'm just seeing debate. But I want to see a plan.
Well, they get through it. There's only a couple of gates, and I think they appear only open for a couple of weeks in the springtime, these gates. And that's the only way to get through this wall. This wall appears to be like artificial, like it was placed there, like some sort of technology make an ice age, and then it made an ice ring going around there, and it's a type of imprisonment. If you get close to it, it triggers off like terrible weather, and
we just got to bring a blowtorch. Or remember, like during 2019, there was an event called Storm Area 51, we got to do something similar for the ice ring. We got to storm
I agree.
Antarctica.
We got to get a yacht. Okay, yeah, you're right. All right, we'll work on getting a yacht and then just sail it down there. All right.
All right. Hey, Scotty, we got to move on. Go to one or two more calls.
Yeah, all right, man. I'll let you go.
Take
Call
care.
me up.
Yeah, enough debate. Let's do something or the other. There's an ice ring. We gotta see it. I think there was a news story recently where a pastor took a bunch of flat earthers down to Antarctica to kind of show them that, hey, this is not flat. But caller, you're on the air.
What up? It's Destro.
Hey, Destro, what's going on?
Your phone's bad.
So I'm currently traveling. I'm in the outskirts of Houston, Texas for a couple weeks.
Oh, nice. Stop by Chacho's.
There is a Chacho's like 30 minutes south of me.
You got to
I
go.
was thinking about doing that. On a Friday so I can have the weekend to cleanse.
Yeah, you got to recover.
Right. So a couple of things I've observed down here in the great state of Texas. I have some friends out here who are fairly politically connected, and we had a dinner, about 8 guys, with the new district attorney down here, and recently appointed. And my eyes were quite open to the state of Texas. I don't know how much about this Joe might be aware of. There is a massive influx, and I mean recent influx of Middle Eastern immigrants down here.
Oh, no.
And I mean, it's to the point where they're building private areas, are buying up tracts of land and building their own Muslim-only communes. A big one got publicly shut down by the governor, but come to find out, behind the scenes, he's allowing a lot of these to happen. What is it, Abbott, the wheelchair guy? And I was just curious if Joe was aware of that. I mean, this state is we're talking, it's over 1 million.
That's a lot of people.
And this is very, very recently. It's going to have some big changes down here in Texas. Mosques are getting built. It's the fastest growing population down here. And I started, digging into it after that dinner last Friday, and come to find out, it's a bigger deal than, they're bringing in, so everyone knows about the massive Somali population in Minneapolis, where Mogadishu tribal feuds are now playing out on the streets in Minnesota. Where are they getting the Uzis? We need to be asking that. But it's happening in Maine now. Their plan is to now influx Maine with tens of thousands of Somalis. And I don't know if people are aware. This hasn't stopped because of Trump. For whatever reason. I don't think Trump is for it, but I think he's up against a lot of, elements within the bureaucracy that just don't follow the chain of command.
We have, here in Central Ohio, in Columbus, we have our own large Somali population on Morris Road. We have a considerable amount of Somalis here. And it feels like whatever is being done, it's being done on purpose in order to create some sort of conflict, like some sort of civil conflict, because it's just oil and water at that point, and there's going to be civil strife, and it's going to allow whoever's in power to rain down and rule with an iron fist, because the people want law and order around here.
Yeah, it's extremely unfortunate. You don't have to go into the bell curve of these Somali immigrants, necessarily, but they are an incompatible culture. Okay. Absolutely an incompatible culture. And, I still think of the pilots whose bodies were dragged naked through the streets of Mogadishu when we were trying to feed these low IQ populations, and they couldn't even accept the help to get fed. And now here we are, in all of us here on the show, our lifetime, and now we're just bringing millions of them in. It's blood boiling, it's infuriating, and it's destabilizing to these local populations, and it hasn't stopped under Trump.
It feels as though they want to destabilize the West, and over the next 2 generations, it's going to definitely, impact our standing on the world, and it'll allow China to take take the reins, being the superpower.
People need to open their eyes and be aware of what's happening, because it is happening. Anyway, other than that, it's a sad week, the passing of JCD. You know, I discovered you guys kind of coincidentally when I discovered No Agenda a few months prior, back in like 2015.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And Dvorak and Curry were a constant in my life. And, you know, it's parasocial. I didn't know him. Obviously, he didn't know me. But just, you know, spending those kinds of hours listening to someone, you feel like you learn from them. You kind of, you know, you get influenced and you kind of see the world in a new way. And, you know, my wife became a big fan of the No Agenda show. It was a sad passing. So
yeah, it was.
We carry on. You guys are part of that torch in my life, you know, carrying it forward. So thanks for what you guys do.
Well, hey, thank you, Destro. Thanks for calling in, man. We're going to move on and get to Cratchit.
Take care.
That was a sweet sentiment.
It was.
And he's right. It's like, I've heard more dialogue from JCD in the past 15 years or whatever than I have from my dad, who's always been pretty short.
Yeah.
With the tongue. But, you know, it's the proximity to him feels, you know, greater than people in my family.
If my dad did a podcast, I'd listen, you know? And I told him when he retired, I said, Dad, you should start a podcast. But he just like, whatever. I'm not doing that. So, let's get over there to Cratchit. Come on. Let's do it.
Brought to you by Pfizer.
I am brought to you by Pfizer. I'm trying to get the graphic to change here. There we go. Been using the new system all show, and it's more responsive, rice. But does have some quirks to it. So.
Eating bananas with rice.
All righty. Let's see. Where do we start?
Banana and rice.
Start with bananas and rice.
You know, just for fun, this one's an MP4. I'm going to drop into Carrot Shop because I had to download it to get it to play. Hopefully you can play this back.
I can play the audio. I can't play the video yet.
Oh, well, even if you download it and you can't replay it, it has to be hosted somewhere.
Yeah, like I said, I can't. Okay. I don't have that capability in the. Well, you know what? Maybe I can. No, actually, no, I can't. Not right now. No.
Well, let me throw this in there. You can play the audio. It's just amusing. We were talking about AI stuff, and this is what happens when politicians are using. This has been floating around for a few days. It comes from Australia, I believe, where they were talking about doing some stuff in Parliament, and the guy was just reading clearly something right out of GPT, not even paying any attention to it.
One of the dangers associated with creating advocacy offices is that citizens often develop expectations that exceed the powers actually granted to those offices. Here's a more natural flowing version of that section that reads like a legislative speech rather than a series of shortcuts. Madam Speaker, one of my concerns with this legislation is the potential gap between what New Brunswickers may reasonably expect this office to accomplish and what the office will.
Oh my God!
I believe, and I believe this was Canadian Parliament, but yeah, so whatever prompt you put in there and said, hey, I need to make a statement about the following things, and then it, you know, as GPT does, it wants to be helpful and give you those alternate. He just read the instructions. Right.
Here's a naturally. I should say that to people from now on. I should say things one way, and then I'll say, here's a naturally more flowing statement that you might like better. I like that. That's nice. What a rube.
What a rube. Oh, boy. Let's see. Where are we going with this? I've got like 2 weeks.
Well, calm down. Hold on there a minute.
How far back?
That's Cratchit, dear. The conversation we were having earlier. These are what people are using AI models to do, is basically make themselves look stupid.
And to write laws.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
That's a good point, because you know that for decades it's been a thing like, your members of parliament, your members of Congress, they're not the ones writing the laws. It's their staff and it's lobbyists who are doing it. And those lobbyists now 100% guaranteed are just dumping stuff into GPT, probably on free accounts. So all the stuff's getting out there.
Get paid, baby.
Oh, let's see. Let's start with this one. Here's a fun story. So we mentioned earlier on the challenge with robotic or artificial intelligence ethics. They don't have a human component, but they're going to make the decisions necessary to get the job done, regardless of the result or regardless of the consequences. So here's a similar one where now you've got a court determining that something is a sentient being with rights. So how long until this affects AI?
Not long. Wow. Okay. Here is the powerful headline right here. Argentina court recognizes 2 goldfish as sentient beings with rights.
That's some good news on that front.
Okay. On the facade of a sushi restaurant in chic Buenos Aires neighborhood, 2 goldfish in a glassy display case would go largely unnoticed apart from the occasional child who would tap on the glass. One day, someone took a closer look at the tank, which was exposed to the sun in street noise. It would change the fate of a pair of small fish named Fede and Magui, who were later recognized in the Argentine court as sentient beings with rights. Quote, anyone passing by and stopping to look and see it wasn't suitable for the fish, said the lawyer of an NGO as an anti-speciesism sanctuary that houses more than 200 rescued animals. So this NGO is an anti-speciesism animal rescue. I guess on the face of it, I can get behind it, but it's just kind of bizarre. So he said that so he decided to file a complaint with the courts, arguing that the conditions that these fish were in violated the law, which penalizes animal abuse, which is a penalty against animal abuse in Argentina. With the help of specialists, they built a legal case and almost immediately convinced the court to move the fish to a more suitable place. One of the main promoters of this change said that the restaurant staff did not object to the ruling. CNN has contacted the restaurant for comment. Having 2 fish in a glass display case is more or less the same as putting 2 polar bears in a cage inside a sauna.
I'm curious where else people put fish except in fish tanks.
Yeah, and I guess should you put polar bears in a sauna? Probably not. But
let's do it.
I think their biggest complaint here was that it sounds like they had this at the front of the restaurant, so it was probably getting sun during the day and getting too hot in there for the fish or something like that. But somebody had to sue because the fish are, they have rights.
I like this statement here. Fish are like astronauts. They travel in their own environment with careful monitoring of all their vital parameters. And when they arrive at the place, those conditions must be reproduced with great accuracy to avoid imbalance that could lead to a decrease in their immunity. Now they're doing very well. Yeah, I get it. You don't want to abuse animals, but also calling them sentient it's fascinating that they're taking that step. I guess, how do you determine sentience? I guess the courts just did. And this is what is going to be argued probably pretty soon when it comes to AI, specifically like Claude. They're already talking about that.
It's only a matter of time. This is sometime in the next 5 years. There's going to be a case litigated where this is declared.
Yeah, who has a longer memory, Claude or Goldfish?
I don't know. I think it has to do with sentience. I think has to do more with somebody being responsive to various conditions or changes, and but how do they express feelings? And I don't know.
You even have to express feelings? I don't think so. Data in Star Trek was sentient. The argument whether or not it was conscious and had the ability to express free will.
And what was the name of that episode again?
Measure of a Man. Yeah.
But that one was, I mean, granted, that was almost 40 years ago, but that was a groundbreaking episode arguing the same thing. So
yes. And what did they decide on that one? They decided, I don't know if...
They copped out.
Yeah, they said, I don't know if Data is sentient or not, but they're going to err on the side that he might be, giving him the option to live his life without being dissected by Starfleet scientists. We don't offer those same rights to animals, obviously, because we do animal testing. We abuse animals. We eat animals. So to extend something like this to goldfish is, I would consider significant. Is this the first time this has been ruled like this? I don't know. It's fascinating.
Yeah, we'll see. The next few years will be interesting.
Yep. All right, let's see what you got over there. I could talk about goldfish all day, but we're not.
Hello there. I'm George Putnam.
All right, this one does have video. We've covered a story recently, or several stories recently, about bears getting into cars and destroying them. We even covered the story about people dressing up as bears to destroy cars in order to get an insurance payout.
Oh, yeah.
But here's one of a bear who broke into a car and got trapped, and to get out, just leaned on the horn.
That's a tactic, too. I do that, too, when I don't want to open my own door. Just lean on that horn, man.
Well, talk about a rude...
Let me see here. Oh, yeah, there is a full story here from the news report.
Well, talk about a rude awakening. A bear somehow broke into a car and got locked inside. So a Colorado man did what any of us would do, right? Wrong. He used a long rope to free the animal.
The bear got stuck in a car and locked himself in last night. And I heard honking all night, thought it was a crazy neighbor, and it was just this guy sitting on the horn.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Now, once the man opened the door, the bear took off into the woods. The intruder damaged every side panel in that vehicle and even set off the driver's side airbag.
This bear's
Did the
annoying.
bear bring his own horn?
Yeah, I guess. This bear's annoying.
All right, here's a here's a Facebook reel of this guy getting live footage of the bear in the car. There's no audio, so you can spice it up with your own audio.
Okay.
Maybe a bit of bear and a bit of honking.
Okay.
But here's him rescuing the bear from the car.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry, why didn't they show that in the news report? That's what you want to show. That's why people tune into the news. There it is. Oh, it is Facebook video. Come on, right there. There we go. Yeah, the guy is walking up to the car. He's tying the rope around the handle. The bear is aggressively honking the horn. Yeah, aggressively.
The bear would be growling some, too.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. There it is. He really wants out. The bear looks like a nice bear. He's like, oh, God, I'm stuck in here. I don't know.
It's a black bear, so generally black bears are more afraid of people, so they'll run off real quick. Clearly, this one, how it got into the car, I suspect they're leaving their doors unlocked, and a lot of people still do that.
But then the door had to be closed, so the bear closed the door behind him, getting in there?
I guess, yeah, maybe.
And so, yeah, the door is open. He opened up the back door, the rear door, hoping that the bear would come out. And it looks like, yeah, the bear took the opportunity, hopped out of the car. Oh, boy. It looks like there was some damage to the car. Oh, the bear.
Yeah, the news report said the bear damaged every surface in the vehicle.
Did he have to take the CD case? No, he didn't have to take he took the full sleeve of CDs, that big black binder.
Hey!
Yeah, he took the stereo, too. You could have left that.
I'm wondering what that call to your insurance sounds like. Yeah, so a bear got into my car and destroyed it?
Yeah, we didn't fake this one, not like those people in California. This is real, legit Colorado bear. And there's actual, well, that's the thing. Like, an insurance can claim this is AI. Like, we're not going to pay you. Obviously, this is an AI video. Obviously, bears don't get in cars and close the door behind them.
And rifle through your CDs.
In fact, we want to
take the change out of the ashtray.
We see the bear is not wearing a seatbelt, so he will be fined.
Yeah, we're going to cite that bear.
We got to track him down. And he has no license. And that's not the way we do things around here. Interesting. Let's move on, Cratchit. Come on. We're doing it.
So that story was from Colorado. So let's stay in Colorado with a different type of story.
Okay.
People in Colorado like to poop.
Okay. Yeah, they do.
And they're not picking up after themselves.
That's common knowledge. Talk to Charlie Robinson about this. He would agree. But we just love to do number 2 around here. Here we go. Too many hikers are pooping in Colorado's backcountry. Could wag bags be the answer?
Oh, really?
Wag bags. I'm not sure what wag bags are, but I'm assuming they're human poop bags. Kind of like dog bags for humans.
Yeah, they define it down here somewhere. It's the acronym is for waste aggregation and gelling.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of poop on Colorado's highest peak. A recently published survey of hikers of Mount Elbert in the Sawatch Range above Leadville shows that as many as 11% of hikers on the 14,000-foot mountain poop along the trail, and fewer than a third of them use the Volt toilets at the trailheads. So they are just saying, to hell with the toilets. I know it's just maybe a half mile away. I'm doing it right here.
Yeah, I don't have to go now, but in 10 minutes, I'm just going to go when I need to right now.
Yeah, so they're horrible.
Men eating feces, drinking urine, and having sex in public.
Well, nothing about that yet.
That might be going on. I don't know. That's not been reported.
This mountain is not telling those tales yet. Quote, I think it's very revealing that this trailhead infrastructure is at a place like Mount Eberg is absorbing only 30% of the demand. This says Jack Eldenson, whose 2-year, 283-page dissertation included perspectives from hikers at Grand Teton National Park and National Park in New Zealand. The work earned Eldenson a doctorate from Pennsylvania State University for what is likely the world's most exhaustive study into public land pooping behaviors. Holy crap. Finally, this guy's doing it.
I love it.
He's got his PhD in poopology.
What do you study? I study that people where they take craps outside in the woods. Oh, you can get a doctorate in that? Yeah. I'm a doctor of this. Elderson surveyed 410 hikers on the mount in the summer of 2024, when the majority of the peaks, 17,000 to 20,000 annual visitors spend as long as 8 hours scrambling to summit. Yeah, I guess during that 8 hour, wouldn't you want to take care of all your business early in the morning? You drink your coffee. That really gets things going. We all know that. And then you go out there on the trail, hike for 8 hours, and typically I'm a once-a-day kind of guy, and going out on the mountain, I can hold it until I come back down. But I guess some people just don't. I know there's like a lot of, like Joe probably can attest to this. He's a long-distance runner. Sometimes, and I've heard, when you go, you just go, and it just you're leaving droppings everywhere.
Well, and that's the complaint here: is these people aren't getting off the trail to do it; they're just leaving droppings on the trail. I did like in the story they mentioned this guy interviewed like 400 plus people during one summer. So does that mean he was sitting in a lawn chair at the trail, being like, "Hey, you got to poop?
You got to poop?
You pooping?"
And then
did you poop?
And so did he just assume that everyone was telling the truth, or did he factor in some like statistical model that half of people who claim they don't poop actually do? Because like he went up there and counted the piles.
Followed people around.
Yeah, it's like
I saw you up there.
I saw what you were doing. He said of the hikers who pooped along the trail, 30% used the free human waste bags provided by the county, and packs of those bags were brought back down the trailhead. and 40% dug holes for their deposits. So for those who are counting, that's about 880 poops a year on Mount Albert. If the free bags weren't there, there would be another 650 holes full of feces out there on the mountain. That's a smelly mountain because, human waste is just And it goes on to say that's a lot of waste in the delicate alpine landscape, ill-suited for processing poop. Because, it's just rock, so it's not... See, what you got is hungry bears going out there probably eating human poop because they're trying to get all the nutrients they can before hibernation.
Bears up above the tree line, but I think that the bigger issue is people are doing this where Mount Albert's one of those ones that it's a relatively easy hike. It doesn't require climbing equipment or anything like that to get to up to 14,000 feet. Obviously, you have to be acclimated to do that, but it's an out and back one day sort of thing. So that you have a lot of kind of touristy people doing this, basically just making a mess of it for everybody. So now you're dodging what they say 800 poops, only 40 of which during 1 year, only 40 of which were properly buried. So that means you're just walking up there and there's someone's steaming pile right in front of you. Great.
Look at this shit.
Literally.
More than 40% of the trailheads of Colorado's 58 14ers. That's what it says here. 58 14ers.
Yeah, it's those 58 peaks that are above 14,000 feet.
Oh, okay. I see. Do not have toilets. Elderson's research at Mount Albert also noted that as many as 1/4 of high-altitude hikers, especially those who are not adjusted to the higher elevations, endure unexpected gastrointestinal distress. So to keep that in mind, people, the higher up you go, the more likely you are to want to make boom boom.
Especially if you had yourself a big breakfast at Hulk Hogan's Down Home Country Diner that morning.
Yeah. So, don't eat a lot. You probably are going to want to get all carved up and ready to go because you're going to burn through that energy. Do not do it.
I gotta take a shit so bad.
No, do not. So it's hard
I also suspect that there's a lot of people who aren't prepared from the standpoint of there is a vault toilet. I mean, there's an outhouse down at the trailhead. You can just drive up to it, and there you go, and then you walk 4 miles to the top of the mountain. I think there's a lot of people who assume, if I have to go, there'll be restrooms along the way.
Yeah. Well, why don't they just have the park rangers follow people around, at this point? Tickets. Yeah. No, just clean up the poop, follow people around. Like, that's your job. You pick up poop now. That's what you do.
Quote, you're a poop ranger.
Quote, it's hard for people to complain about poop on the mountain if you don't have a ready option. We did. We just came up with the option. Park rangers, that's your job now. That's what you do.
Well, what they're proposing here is we're going to put these special bags out there. You take a bag and you poop in the bag, and then you pack that out. You don't just fling it over the hillside.
That was said by one person whose vast crew of trail builders and volunteers always carry WAG bags, short for waste aggregation and gelling, for packing out poop. Your poop packers.
Poop packer.
Quote, it's not a lack of willingness. I got to say, I don't like picking up my dog's poop. I do it because I'm courteous. I don't think I like picking up my own, And I'm certainly not going to pick up anybody else's.
Well, I mean, you could pick up your dog's poop. You could save it. You could drive to Mount Albert and just leave it at the trail.
Taking a vacation so I can just deposit all my dog crap. Let's see here. A blended solution is $3 WAG bags and $100,000 trailhead toilets. So they want to spend $100,000 on trailhead toilets. Holy moly. This is quite the article on crap. People crap it on a mountain.
That's right. They're very in-depth reporting on this.
Wow. Well, hopefully they solve this problem. I don't see why they won't. Now the problem is now been exposed in the Colorado Sun. That's the newspaper. I'm sure that the county and the local commission will come up with a fair solution.
I'm sure they'll spend hundreds of thousands of dollars studying this.
Again, yeah.
This is where, they don't put trash cans or bathrooms around in certain places down in, especially David's hometown. You end up with a bunch of litter everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But then also does it... I mean, you would have to hide these bathrooms away because it would be an eyesore along a hiking trail.
Yeah, you'd have to camouflage them to make sure they blend in. But then you can't find them because they're camouflaged. Like, I got a dump.
There you go.
But I can't find it. I know it's around here somewhere.
There's a secret toilet around here somewhere.
You just have to hire a bear to honk a horn next to the bathroom.
Got to hire a Sherpa just to get me up the mountain to take a crap. I can't afford this.
Could we train the bears to clean up after people?
That's what there's got to be some eco-friendly solution to this all.
I like the idea of deputizing bears as poop rangers, and they follow you around, and if you don't pack out, they come after you.
If you're going to get government involved, it's going to involve some sort of penalty in some way. So maybe it is. There's a bounty on you now. You're wanted man for crapping on a mountain. Well, people, I think we'll be back on Wednesday. I will. I think Cretchen's out. I think Joe's out.
I don't know. It's TBD for me if I can be there. I will definitely not be here. I will be on the road.
Okay.
And TBD for me.
I know you're like it's a rough day. So I'll be here. I didn't talk about the Odyssey, but that's also it's so last week at this point.
So the movie's like 3 hours. You can keep your review to an hour.
I'll keep it to 3 minutes.
Okay.
Is it, summarize it right now. Is it worth going to see or wait for streaming?
I personally would wait for streaming. Right. But overall, I mean, I give it a B. It wasn't it was good. I wasn't blown away, but it is definitely a competent movie. It's not as woke as everyone thought, but it's all right. All right. Well, hey, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Cratchit. Shablagoo.
And goodbye.
Keep watching the skis. There's bears up there cleaning up your poop.
Throw it all. Make it bigger. I accept everything you said. Dadgummit, some little punk in a man bun.
Child, that's the end of that.
Coach,
I'm gay.
Thank you, Dr. Pepper.
That's about all.
Shablagoo.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.
Until next week. Nanu. Nanu.
I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want to use the bathroom.